Hey, Megba Shakao, Abomigala from all over the world, wherever you're watching. I just want to say thank you to the organizers for setting this up. Uh, like they say, great minds think alike. And it was just while Kadoma Pibe, a global youth conference for Igala land and beyond, you had reached out to me about this conference, and I was very excited about it. And I'm glad that you brought me on. And so I just want to say thank you for organizing this. And hopefully, whatever we drive pre-conference here, we'll be able to apply it towards a better change for Anegala. Before I continue, Odumi K. Sylvester A2, please highlight my middle name A2. A2B to be precise, shortened to be A2. And my last name is Omeje. I hail from Elika, Olowa, Dekina. And while growing up, I happened to have spent some time in the village with my grandparents, where I'm very, in tune and tied to my culture. So I might not speak the Igala very well, because I grew up in Lagos and schooled here. But what I would have loved to see you do before you brought me on was to have allowed my mommy and my auntie, who I respect so much, Dr. Fatima Alfa, to have finished her presentation. I know you did say you were going to bring her on later. I think she was just getting started. She was just giving an overview. But please bring her on, because I think we share similar ideas, and she was just beginning to share some of the problems that I share same idea with her before she was abruptly cut off. So, mommy, please, I apologize, and I'm sure the organizers will fix that. To address the topic, in question for young Igalas pursuing education and imbibing the new ways of doing getting education. I'm sure that we are all aware, or some of us must have heard that education is not limited within the four walls of schools. And I'm more of a proponent of that as an IT person, business analyst, a community organizer. I've been one of such person who have been able to use these tools of informal education to empower a lot of youth here in the US. And I believe same that if we can imbibe such practice on Anegala, using similar techniques to empower our young ones, we would go very far in terms of our social and economic development. We have a platform here. Over time, we have people who are highly educated, who are changing their path of career. The platform is more of an IT training platform. We have nurses, we have people who are in different fields. Because of the paradigm shift in education now, or because of the global change, is no longer, education is no longer degree, uni PhD, we have people who have same kind of qualification. And we have people who didn't even go through the formal education at all, take on one vocational training, 6-month vocational training, and they end up ending 6 figures, more than somebody in a PhD. That is not to say that I can ignore formal education. In my own view, I think after formal education, actually, it's good for you to add that extra level of skill whether being in agriculture, whether being in IT or in art, like Omeje, Mr. Tom Makolo. What is happening is that you end up seeing that each study in school that you end up becoming. For me, I went to UNAB in University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. I studied environmental management and toxicology. How did I leave that to become an IT person? And my IT is not like we need a degree in IT. They're all certification, professional certification we acquire over time. And it was all because of interest towards computer science and using computer to solve everyday problem. So what is it? What is that skill that you have that you need to develop on, right? That skill can get developed on to change or to create a positive impact in that immediate environment. These days, you hear a lot of our young girls. I was in one of the platform. I mean, I don't know how many of us know of this new platform, Clubhouse. So we're hosting a talk show where young folks will come in who have different skills, and we have investors, just like you see in Shark Tank, and is it there's something Lions Den or something. So we have that, and we have young folks from Nigeria coming on. And analytically, we were able to see that most of the people that are coming and saying they have a skill set is either they say they are a fashion designer or they're a makeup artist, and these are mostly our young girls, So they are acquiring skill within their own immediate environment, but they now need that support system to push them to that next level. Because if you say you're a makeup artist, it's not just you doing your face and doing somebody's face for a wedding. As a makeup artist, your skill set is required in the film industry. It's required in other industry, because you see a lot of people doing cosmetology, changing somebody to look like a dragon or something like that in film, and you get paid a lot for doing that. So how can we, our Kani opportunity, which is one of my goal here, to see how I can rally the diaspora to invest. In most cases, like Omeje and Emali was saying the other time, what is it that you have? What is it that you have done for yourself or done for others before you even bring others on? So what we are looking for are quality youth that have ideas, that are ready to take what they have and run with it and create impact. So for me, I'm looking at what is that saying, not just what is that platform, how can I connect the diaspora to Anegala to begin to invest in all this kind of, in the different sectors, be it art and culture, be it in agriculture, be it industrialization, be it, just name it, or what have you. So these are my own ways I think that we can begin to change our mindsets, and for change to happen, truly, we all have to change our mindset individually and collectively. So there are certain things that's riddled and disrupted the educational system. The problem is not with the educational system that is in place. The problem is with us as individuals, as governments, at the government level, at the community level, and at even parents of the children have a lot to do in this change that we pursue. So the education we're talking about goes beyond just the school system, just the 4 walls of schools. That is good. I welcome that, because if you take that and add it to you acquiring some level of skills, that makes you phenomenal. There's no ground that you cannot break. Makes you exceptional, makes you stand out, where there are thousands of makeup artists, for instance, like I was saying, and you had a degree and you also went to a vocational program, added a certificate to that. Tell me, if there are 100 people who come and say they have they are makeup artists, who would you choose first? So they all go hand in hand, and I guess that's the point my mommy, Dr. Fatima Alfa, was trying to make earlier before she was caught abruptly. So I wish I could speak in Igala, but please forgive me. I will learn. I'm hoping that my partner and brother, Tomakolo, he spoke very eloquently in Igala. When you start rubbing with soap, you yourself become soap. So I will go towards Tom to, help me polish my Igala. The next time we meet, I promise that I will speak everything. I'll speak in Igala more than I speak in English, but I bear with me. So anyways, let me go further on my topic. I did say something about governance earlier. The government has a lot to do in helping with the state of educational system. I recently I read something about Kogi State government increasing the budget on education by 30%. And I also saw something that kind of like put me on alert. I know they started working on, I don't know, they are gathering data around from private schools. Now, as much as I love that, as an IT person, I like data gathering because with data, you can break that into understanding what the problem is. But I strongly wish if anyone is from the Kogi State government is listening, I strongly advise that please apply same strategy to understanding or gathering data around the public schools. Public schools plays a major, because those are the schools that better empower the grassroots. I'm in the local areas. Parents work. My man no cook send mama to school. Those are the free schools where they're supposed to enjoy the benefit of schools while a school system is formed in the first place. Thank God Enemali is going to be speaking. He's somebody I respect so much. I've seen a lot of his work, community report, that you've seen him. A lot of us here, we agree. You've seen some of his reports where he has gone to schools that are in deplorable condition. Kids sitting under in a classroom that has no roof and there's rain falling on them. That is ridiculous. These are the areas where I would love to see the government, begin to analyze how many schools across board do we have that are like this? What is the situation? How many teachers? What is their needs? How can, if you increase 30% budget, where is that budget going? And I'm sure this is not the first time they are increasing budget. They must have been increasing budget from time to time. When we do things like this, I fear that I hope they're not trying to increase because they are pushing these funds towards their political agenda. But let's begin to have some kind of roadmap, educate ourselves. We're talking about education, so let me not deviate, but let's educate ourselves. Like I was saying, the change stands with us as individuals. So when you understand what needs to be done, when you are in government, you know what to do when you're given the opportunity. And again, I said earlier, we need to rally the diaspora to come in and step in and begin to help the government where the government has failed, from the diaspora and collaborating with the community and individual, which begin to affect changes. So vocational schools is what I support. Not that I'm leaving out, for our formal education. Let's improve our existing educations. Let's put money into uplifting Kogi State University and the polytechnics. Let's look at all our secondary schools that are there. I went to the JSS the Kina. The one time I was researching about it, I saw it's a shadow of itself. And I think they converted into some kind of vocational school that they are struggling. These are the areas I want to see us. If you have made it in life, you are making something. The amount of money those of us that are in the diaspora send home in hundreds of millions of dollars. If only we know that, okay, as an individual, I'm here in the US, I make probably $100,000 a year. I want to take $10,000 and invest it into something. By the way, we put money into Bitcoins and all that. Why can't we invest it in something that we know will bring return? NMLA did something on agriculture the one time. People have products and they cannot transport them. If your own area is to invest that money into finding a way to help the farmers get their products from one point through you, or you buying it and find a way to process them and take them to the market. That is an investment. I know some of us are here fear the insurance. How can we put money? If I put in and I lose, who am I going to hold responsibility? Because I don't blame them. They tried before, and lack of accountability and dishonesty, corruption has riddled the country. So again, it starts with us as individuals. We first need to educate ourselves on how or the best approach to do things and do it well. So education, having a degree, having a PhD, having a master is good. But I think also the government should begin to put money into having vocational schools, institutes of robotics and IT, empower young youths to begin to compete with the world in different levels. You know, so this is the area I come. And outside of everything I've said today, I'm also a partner with Tom Makolo, who spoke earlier on Ego TV. I started to invest in that because I saw the future. I'm a filmmaker myself. In 2-3 months, I'll be graduating because outside of everything, I decided to go into, I've been doing film for a while, but I wanted to have a certificate in cinematography before I even partner with Tom. But the fact that I don't want our culture, I don't want our tradition to be lost in transition with civilization. I wanted something that I can do to preserve that. That's why I partner with him. That's why I ventured into that area. And I believe as an individual, wherever you are, look for one area that where you can invest something in. Invest your skill. It doesn't have to be money. Sometimes it could be probably you're good at doing this. You are in medicine. You're a doctor here. How can you help our people who probably have what's it called, cataracts? Imagine somebody living with cataract for years, 40 years, 50 years. That cataract thing can be treated within 30 minutes. So if we have doctors who can invest in this area and help our people, or we have engineers that can build roads, like Enemali was saying, when those village was cut off, let our engineers come together and say, okay, how can we invest in this area? And how can we invest on this road and get a return? Come up with an ideas and let's begin to educate ourselves in those areas. Those are the kind of education that I'm willing to see. You know, there has been a paradigm shift in education and how we educate ourselves. You really, there are online programs like Mommy was saying the other time, the National Open University. People, you can now study from your home. You can be in Nigeria and taking classes with a school here in the US. You see, so things have changed, especially since COVID. The way we do business has changed. So is how we also educate ourselves. There's high demand for IT people. Ukraine, even war, the way people fight war these days has changed. We're not talking about cyber war. Ukraine is looking for thousands of people who are good, who are hackers, who are good in programming, and they will pay highly for that. So is US. So you now see the opportunity is limitless in terms of how or what we can empower ourselves with. So I will rest my case for now, and I'm sure Mommy Fatima will be able to add to this and expand on where I live. And I want to thank you all for giving me the opportunity. And hopefully that after this program, when I come to Nigeria, hopefully we could be able to begin to have a plan of action that we can derive from these conversations that we're having. That is not, it doesn't just stop us having conversations, but also to draw up a plan of action, a roadmap. And Emali said something the other time. He said a blueprint that we can follow, that the government, any government that comes will be able to push this blueprint and say, this is what we want for our land. In the areas of education and all other sectors that we have discussed today. So I want to yield my time, and I want to thank you again. Peace.
Okay, thank you very much, Sylvester Omeje. God bless you richly. You have spoken well. Before the summit, we had a conversation, and we promised each other that beyond the summit, there are some steps, next steps that we shall be taking to ensure that ukolain ya lalio phone ya neche kanya children and ojo abuachi achukolole kojanya kinyogba if you do kanikun. Like I promised earlier on, we have our mommy, Dr. Fatima, on the call, and we'll yield the floor for her for another like 5 minutes to, to share with us the concluding part of the presentation she started earlier on. And I'm sure there will be a lot for us to take away. Thank you, Okolanle Kakpa, Ikoichiku Wedema, Dr. Fatima Alpha.
Megbachakadu Chugbedeme. Ojonugba, thank you. And thank you, Sylvester. Ejejime Chibomide, both of you on my different sides. Okay. So as I was, what I said in the previous slide was that, okay, sorry. So our way forward is to work on the foundation, like I said earlier on. How do we do this? Remember, the foundation I'm talking about is going back to correct and build up our primary and secondary education. One way is involvement in our alma mater. Go back to the school, your secondary school, the school you went to, the school you attended. Join the alumni association there. If there is none, start one, especially for those of you that went to secondary schools in Igala land. Alumni associations are very, very powerful in motivating current students and ensuring that the school is running well. So when the current students see you, you are a successful old student of their school, you inspire them. They want to be like you. You spur them to success. You encourage them in different ways possible. The next thing is to also engage the primary and secondary schools, administrators and teachers in your village or hometown. Let's take back our public schools. Hold them accountable. Visit them, introduce yourself. You can go in a group or by yourself. Ask them if there's any project, if there's anything they need in that school, and see how, together with your classmates or schoolmates, you can help to rectify that, since government is no longer funding schools, or since those at the top are just sharing the money. Another thing is to hold after school programs for the children in primary schools and secondary schools. Do that for the schools in your neighborhood or your village or the section of your hometown, for those of you that come from large towns. Especially hold mathematics and English language clinics for them. I said clinics because it goes beyond just teaching them basic mathematics and basic English language. Mathematics skills can be used in solving problems. Mathematics skills are what engineers use in invention. You can help them to have robust classes. In English, they can have writing clubs, acting clubs, and all this. If you cannot volunteer to teach any of these subjects, pay others to teach. hold technology workshops for the youths in Igala land. I think our brother Sylvester touched on that. No, technology drives the world right now. So those of you that are IT savvy, even if you are not, bring your friend who is IT savvy so that you can hold technology workshops. Put places where children can learn, the youths can learn, take programs where they can get certification in order to either be self-employed or work in companies outside. Sponsor teachers for professional development seminars and conferences. You will say, oh, but teachers are the responsibilities of the government. But no, we are trying to take back our own public schools. So when you sponsor a teacher to go for a conference of maybe 1 day or 2, the teacher comes back empowered. The teacher comes back refreshed. The teacher comes back with new knowledge to impart to our children. This will make our children better educated and give them the ability to be competitive both nationally and internationally. Also, there's something we call the Adopt a Child program. That is, you take interest in the education of a child in your neighborhood whose parents are indigent. They don't have the wherewithal to really take care of their children's school fees. Take interest in one, especially your extended families and village children. You do not need to be a millionaire to help in this regard. School fees are about 3,000 naira a year in public schools. You can pay that for one child, or you can pay for more or join with a group of people to increase the number of people you want to help. Pay their school fees, buy books for them or pencils and pens, rulers, all those things they need in school. Help them pay their exam fees. That's one area many children struggle with. Exams like WASC, NECO, and JAM. We also need to have more CBT centers in Igala land for children to take their exams. I mentioned taking SAT and ACT exams where our children of our neighbors to the southwest access and come to the US on full scholarship. When I was looking for a center like that in the whole of Kogi, I don't think I found any. So we should be able to have centers like that. We have people who have businesses in Anegala. Let us have centers like that. Let's have exam preparation centers where our children can go prepare for exams that will help them better their lives. Give scholarships to both the high-flying and the struggling students. It's not only the A students that need scholarship. The struggling students also need scholarship. Actually, there may be things that are making them not to perform as brilliantly as those high-flying students. And one of those things could be their learning style. Nobody is a dullard. Nobody is a dumb, but we all have different learning styles. One person can read something one time and understand and do very well. Another person will have to read twice or 3 times. So let's take that into consideration, help support everybody so that we can have a more vibrant society. Thank you very much for listening. God bless you.